I'm going to make an introduction about the Socio-Economic Impact Study, the aim, objectives, and purpose, followed by a description of our methodological approach. And in addition, we are going to talk about the deliverables that derive from this task, the interlinkages, the online questionnaires we have developed so far, the time plan, and a brief description of the tomorrow's workshop. Okay. Now, the Socio-Economic Impact Study, it addresses the impact of open data on economy and society in the various Mediterranean regions. Okay. First and foremost, we are going to undertake a socio-economic impact assessment study that will eventually be presented to the decision and policy makers in each region and hopefully convince them to make their data available to the public. Then we will take into account the specific needs and perspectives of the Med area and any open data implications, and demonstrate the overall feasibility of open data policies and encourage political commitment. And finally, we will provide guidelines that some of them will be for Working Package 3, and of course the entire Working Package 5, which are the two pilots. Now, as you can see out of this long list of objectives, I'm just going to outline some of them. Well, the first objective is to identify specific obstacles and benefits, which I think is most important, to determine in each region the current status, the current practice of PSI in terms of access and exploitation, define the areas and categories of data sets that they own, and gain an overall understanding of the data sets that each partner region that will provide. And of course, the most important, to identify and specify the key stakeholders. To identify any economic benefits of making the data public, open, and reusable. And of course, the emphasis will be on the main sectors of economy, which are 5 of them: tourism, culture, agriculture, energy, and environment. And concluding, the purpose of this study is to inform, as I said before, the decision and policy makers about the potential benefits, and of course, if there are any probable adverse impacts and how to mitigate these that occur as a result of the open data policy. Methodological approach. Now, here we outline the different stages of the socioeconomic impact analysis study, which are illustrated in the form of a flow chart, as you can see. And the first step is to analyze the project context, and following by, we have to identify here the key stakeholders and thereafter perform a stakeholder analysis to establish governance of PSI in each region, to identify any aspects of benefits and costs, identify any obstacles and barriers and how to mitigate these, and identify means to deal with policy, legal, and technological issues. Now, de facto, this study has both social and economic implications. Making your data available to the public will consequently have social and economic impacts. And here, as you can see, we have listed a number of key questions to which we seek answers. For example, are new services produced? Is growth generated? Are new opportunities created? Is there a reduction in transaction costs? Is there more efficiency in processes? Are there any adverse impacts due to lower revenues? Can we assign monetary values to cost and benefits? And here I would like to add that sometimes the benefits are very intangible and you cannot assign monetary values to them. And as I said before, it has also some social impacts, and these are the key questions. Who are the stakeholders? Sorry. Through this study, we are going to answer these key questions, and of course we will always ask your input through the online questionnaire. I'm going to mention this later on. So through this study, these key questions are going to be answered because are very important.
So you're saying you're going to give these questions to the partners of the
We have designed so far only one online questionnaire. I think most of you you did it. You have completed it, and thank you so much for your prompt response. And then we will develop another 3 or maybe 2 online questionnaires. That will depend on the tomorrow's workshop. And we will decide, of course, the context. We have prepared them, and we want you to finalize them. So these answers have to be answered through the study in order to convince the policy makers and the decision makers to open their data. You are very right. Yes, sorry.
We're going to have a roundtable discussion immediately
after. Sorry. Yes. Okay.
Why don't we give
okay.
speaker the opportunity to speak, and then we can ask for the questions.
Okay, and most of your questions are going to be answered by Elisa, I guess, so it's later on. Thank you, sorry about that. And, okay, and this study will be executed in 5 different stages. The first stage is to define the methodology from collection of existing data and review the information. Then we will perform a stakeholder analysis and data collection. We will analyze our data, and upon the completion of the data analysis and final analysis, we will outline our findings, conclusions, and key recommendations, and the final step is reporting. Now, I'm just going to go quick for the methodology. Well, at this point, our methodology is going to be described in more detail. There are 3 phases: the inception phase, the interim phase, and the final phase. In the inception phase, as I said before, we will do our research design, we will develop an analytical framework and our work planning. We will collect existing data and input from all the participating partners. And then in the interim phase, we will have the stakeholder analysis and data collection. This collection will be through desk research based on secondary and primary sources, and the semi-structured online questionnaires, the one I mentioned earlier, and the data analysis as well, which will be qualitative and quantitative analysis. And in the final phase, our findings, conclusions, and recommendations, as I said before, here the key findings, conclusions, recommendations, and at the end, our final report. Okay, at this stage, Elisa will elaborate further about the steps to be followed for our methodology. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. So as Christina mentioned briefly, the first step of our methodology is to try to identify and define all the stakeholders for each region, which is a very important indicator for this study. The 4 groups that we have tried to identify are the owners, providers, the existing data users, which can also be potential data users, but potential data users is a very large group and could be potentially further enlarged if PSI becomes open. And then we have the very important group of the public sector information, policy and decision makers, which is the ultimate target group that we're trying to convince at the end of our study. And this is where all the partners come, and we rely upon your valuable help in order to be able to identify these key stakeholder groups. And with your help tomorrow through the workshop, we are hoping to be able to find mutual, practical way of approaching this and collect in an efficient manner all the information that is necessary for conducting the socioeconomic analysis. As Christina mentioned, and it's throughout our proposal, at least for one of the main sectors, we need to do a detailed stakeholder analysis, which will be done in the 3 phases that we mentioned here in our presentation. The preliminary stakeholder analysis that was one of our the task of the first online questionnaire that we kindly asked all of you to fill in. And the second phase is the more detailed stakeholder analysis. And at the 3rd phase, we are aiming for finalization of a complete stakeholder database, which will be also one of the deliverables of this work package. So our first aim was to ask you and to perform a pilot through the online questionnaire that we have designed to provide us with some first information about what is going on in each region and how we can improve further the set of questions that were originally designed, and to ask you even for more information of a more qualitative nature about each of the regions involved in the Homer project. One of the key questions, I don't know if you can see this very clearly, and if you can remember that this was the last question of the online questionnaire. This is a very important table that we tried to fill in for the study. For each of the sectors, each of the 5 sectors, we're trying to identify who are the data owners, existing data users, potential data users, and PSI decision makers at each level, the local level, the regional level, and the national level. And we will present you with the preliminary information tomorrow at the workshop to see what everybody has answered. So we propose, as I said, to collect primary information from the stakeholders through the usage of a semi-structured questionnaire with the stakeholders identified for each region from the first phase. And then we aim to complete a database of all the stakeholders and be able to submit the deliverables that were agreed upon. And then, with having in mind the whole project strategy and with the collaboration of our Greek partners who are also the work package coordinators, we tried to thought of the best approach to conduct this primary data collection exercise. So we're proposing, and we rely upon your feedback again tomorrow to advise us to see if you agree with this methodology, to conduct an online survey in order to collect all this information and be able to answer the questions that are most critical for this study. And the reason we propose to do this online is so that we can reach all the target groups efficiently, to maximize response rate, to avoid respondent fatigue, and be able to respond timely to this exercise. So generally, the questionnaire will try to address these parameters, which I'm not going to read out because it's non-exhaustive and it's a long list of parameters. We are also proposing through the study to address the open data users, again through an online questionnaire. which will be launched. It will be short, but it's important to do it in different languages with the assistance of you, I hope, so that it can be completed by everybody. And these, again, are the questions that we will try to address. These are the parameters. These are not exact questions. The exact formulation of the questions is a point we will discuss in detail tomorrow. Another proposition is to combine the questionnaire of the data owners, providers, with that of the policymakers, so that we will have a common questionnaire, but again be able to have more information from each group separately at the same time. And then, as Christina said, another important element of our methodology is the desk research activity. And as Elsa also mentioned, there is a lot of previous experience from other projects. So again, with your help, we will try to identify all of this. We have also a lot of studies and reports from the Deloitte network and various other public sources from the regions that please bring to our attention either today or tomorrow, so we will study everything and be concise in our approach. Tomorrow we will also try to give you, we'll try to confirm, if you like, with each region, what is the current situation briefly in each country, so that in each region, so that you will allow us to understand more deeply what is the governance structure, and be able to combine all the desk research information with the primary research information. And then we have the various deliverables, which are the questionnaires, the database of the stakeholders and the users, all the survey results, the report, and we are hoping also to be able to deliver mini reports for each region, which will be very useful.
As I said before, the interlinkages is some of the 3.1, is some of the working package 3, and for the whole working package 5. Okay, tomorrow we are going to discuss the online questionnaires and give you some preliminary results. 16 have replied, have completed the questionnaires. So, and the time plan for this task. Okay, we have to finalize this study until the 28th of February, and we know that we have to stick on this time plan because then the other tasks have to begin. So, okay, and tomorrow we are going to obtain some input from you about the completion of the questionnaire and discuss the methodology and agree with you, discuss the current situation as Elisa said, and finalize the methodology and the draft questionnaires and define next steps. We were quick, yes? Thank you.
Actually, one thing that I omitted to do, and maybe we could do quickly before we get into the discussion, is to briefly introduce each other, because I definitely don't know you.
Yes.
I know very few among you, and definitely we want to know who the speakers are, right? So let's start with the speakers.
Okay, my name is Christina Themistokleous, and we are the external experts of partner Sewerage Port of Limassol Solamathos.
Okay, and you are which company?
Deloitte company, and we are from Cyprus.
Okay, maybe we can continue.
My name is Konstantinos Netas. I'm probably the newest member of your team, and I am with the centralized region of Crete.
As I said, I'm Elisa. I'm working with Christine on this study from behalf of Deloitte.
My name is My name is Paola Domenino. I come from Italy. I work in CSI Piedmont with Savarino, and we are involved in the VP 3.2 task.
I am Saverino Reale. I'm task leader of the working package 3.2 for Federation Open Data.
My name is Luca Guerretta. I'm newly appointed the Homer project manager since actually 2 days. So I think I'm the winning of the newest of the month. And Piedmont region, of course. Thanks.
I'm Elsa Pilone, and I'm, until yesterday, the project manager of Homer. I'm happy to transfer the knowledge to...
I'm Irene Scarpone. I'm a financial assistant of Piedmont region.
Hello everybody, I'm Emanuele Elia from Piedmont region in Turin, and I've started my new job 2 weeks ago as the financial manager, so I'll support you in dealing with Presage.
My name is Vasilis Christofidis. I'm professor in University of Crete, and I have been kindly invited by my colleagues in Homer. I'm actually coordinating several projects on open link data in the context of FP7 framework, and I'm coordinating these projects in the context of my second affiliation at Forth, in Institute of Computer Science in Forth, and also there is besides me in our group, there are also other colleagues, as for instance Dimitris Goginos, which is a close friend and collaborator, which is actually coordinating an open data and open link data in the context of geo information systems, the InfoGeo Cloud project. So there is, let's say, a Cretian boost on open data and the rest.
Hello, Michalis Chalios. I'm also from Cyprus, Deloitte Cyprus, and we're here to support Suresh Borov Limassol on this project.
Hello everybody, I'm Elena Ghitu. I'm the project manager of the Suresh Board of Limassol from Cyprus, your Cypriot partner.
Hello everybody, I'm Antonios Panakis from the University of Crete, and I'm a PhD candidate in economics, internet economics. So I'm trying to help you.
Okay. Good evening, my name is Konstantinos Manasakis. I'm a lecturer here at the University of Crete in managerial economics and business economics and the kind of microeconomic analysis of this stuff. Thank you.
Hello, I am Eric Ferrari from Corsica Regions. I am a project manager of One Package 5.
Hello, my name is Mathilde Dudona, and I am working for the Mediterranean Institute, and we are coordinating the pilot project.
Hello, I'm George Karamantou from the Greek Open Source Software Society.
I'm Nikos Roussos. I'm also from the Greek Open Source Software Society.
And the Digital Open Source Society.
I'm Christina Koulou from the same organization.
And maybe you should stay here, or let's have a vacancy.
Última vez.
Are they going to be?
So we're opening now the floor to discussions for questions and discussion after the first presentation. Vasily, you may want to start. Since
I just wanted to raise two general questions, just to open a little bit the problematic of the socio-economic aspect. These questions tries a little bit to focus more on the details, on the rationale behind the kind of questionnaires that we need actually to fill and analyze at the end. So the first question is, as a matter of fact, how we understand sustainability of the public open data or of the public sector data. So this is a very fundamental for me question that is the very core of what we are looking. And according to my modest economical background, sustainability is defined as a cost function, and in particular as a cost-sharing function. So we have to be a little bit more detailed on what communities actually we are seeing to share the cost of producing, publishing, because there are different jobs: producing, publishing, repurposing, okay, and finally integrating, searching, etc., etc. And this brings to the second question: is that from the current, let's say, first rough reading of the questionnaire, it seems to me that you have, let's say, a very strict view between a very short path of valorization, value making of the data. You have someone that produced the data and someone that used the data, okay? So I think that, let's say, the whole business stuff, it comes exactly between the one that produced the data and the one that used the data, because the data are of very poor quality. So one of the, let's say, the question is, it's very clear, Christos. I'm saying that I'm, let's say, trying to understand how many levels exist between the production and the consumption of the data, because exactly the problem of the data is that we need constantly to improve their quality, okay? Which brings also into our attention that there are other users and stakeholders than those that have been mentioned in the original plan. So these are the two, let's say, basic questions to me of some interest for a socio-economic discussion.
Well, as